All right, Historic Anthology 5. They released a schedule saying we're going to get spoilers from this set every day this week. So we got the last 2 days, today, tomorrow, and then Friday as well. Then we'll have the whole thing. First up here, we have Ichor Wellspring. So another kind of artifact enabler. When it enters the battlefield or is put in the graveyard of the battlefield, draw a card. We got Trash for Treasure in an earlier one, so I don't know if like Ichor Wellspring Trash for Treasure is necessarily powerful enough to see play in Historic. These could be one of the things you got to remember too with the Historic anthologies. They also set up like some cube inclusions in here, so like Wellspring Trash for Treasure definitely feels like some cube vibes. Noel, thanks for the follow and for the brand new sub. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for the support. Reverse Engineer, improvise, draw 3 cards. Sure. So improvise means that you can tap artifacts to help cast this card. So it's another card that's like kind of cute with Wellspring, but I kind of feel like that's probably too low power level ultimately for the format. Ooh, that's a good observation. This is really good with Doom Foretold, huh? Like we've played some eggs with Doom Foretold before, and this draws 2 with that. So that's pretty good. Silumgar's Command. Okay, sure. So we got Jamoka's Command and Ojutai's Command on the first 2 days, and there's 5 days of spoilers, and this is the third Khan's Command. So I would bet we're gonna get Kolaghan's Command and Atarka's Command as the last 2 days. Yeah, I would bet we get all 5. And honestly, you know, a lot of these historic anthologies tend to like not be worth buying because a lot of them have a lot of like mediocre or cube cards in them. But if you're gonna get, you know, all 20 commands, play sets of each of the commands, this one's probably worth picking up. Like, honestly, this is probably the worst of the 5 commands that will be in the cycle, and it might even be fringe playable in the format. And the other 4, I would be surprised if there aren't decks that end up with home sim. I do think this one is the weakest link at 5 mana of the command cycle. Brask the Hidden. Silumgar's Command will end up in pack combo. Yeah, it's good enough for the singleton deck. Sure. Brask the Hidden. Creatures you control have haste. Creatures your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. Yeah, this is the second Praetor we've seen, right? So I don't know if we're gonna necessarily get the full cycle because maybe they're gonna spoil 2 on a single day, but we saw what's it called? Elish Norn would be a sweet card. So like this doesn't quite feel good enough, I don't think, for the format. Like I don't even think Big Red wants this, but like if this and Vorinclex are indications that Elish Norn and possibly Jin-Gitaxias are coming, both Elish Norn and Jin-Gitaxias would potentially be playable as reanimator targets. Like Jin-Gitaxias would be sweet, so kind of this is probably the weakest set of the spoilers that we've seen so far. We got kind of the dud of a command. Honestly, Ichor Wellspring might be the most playable out of this bunch that we dropped today. This is another cube card. So again, like mythics like this are like, well, do you really want to buy it? But like honestly, if we're getting 5 good rares, this anthology is probably worth picking up. Yeah, like this card does neat stuff. Like I said, it's a good cube card. This becomes legal in the honestly, you know, it's not called Pauper, but it's the non-rares format on Arena. And stuff like Ichor Wellspring and Reverse Engineer being legal in Artisan is probably a reasonable. The historic anthology cards are Artisan legal, right? So I would bet there's probably going to be a sweet artifact deck in that format with stuff like Wellspring and Reverse Engineer and Trash for Treasure. Because Trash for Treasure is also an uncommon, so this is kind of a good drop for Cube, and this is kind of a good group of cards for Cube and Artisan, but not really relevant for historic. The artisan doesn't have an always on cue, does it?